Hello everybody, welcome to my show, The Slick Whiz. This is your host J.S.Universe from Chandigarh, India, our planet Earth, the J.S.Universe. So today in this podcast, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and its blockchain. What is it and how it all works? So basically, what is a Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency which is not regulated by any authority or a middleman, meaning it can be transferred from person to another person with ease without any intervention of a central authority. So where did this currency come from? I'll tell you where it came from. It was found deep in the haunted cave of the phantom pirate of the pixie world in a super awesome enchanted treasure chest. That's some RuneScape shit there, fellas. Pretty fascinating, huh, folks? Woo! Abracadabra, poof. Bitcoin was created. Nah, I'm just messing with you. We all know that's not true. And those people who do not know how Bitcoin was created, I'll tell you the legendary tale of the Bitcoin. Put on your seatbelt, folks, because it's gonna be a hell of a ride. See, I'm doing it again. Okay, maybe I might be exaggerating the excitement of this whole Bitcoin thingy. I got a little carried away, pardon me, fellas. So, first let's talk about the origins of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a digital currency which was created by some guy named Satoshi Nakamoto. Actually, we don't even know if this person is a guy, a girl, or a group of people. This person's identity is a mystery. He's like a phantom. Nobody knows who and where he is right now. Hell, we don't even know that this is his real name. This currency was first introduced in November 2008 along with the technology of the blockchain in an article named Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system by a mystery guy, Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto. I will discuss about the blockchain later in this podcast. In January 2009, Bitcoin came into being, and this cryptographical contraption was so freaking advanced that it shook the world. That's pretty dope, huh? Hell yeah, it is. I'll tell you why. Because we don't have to pay any fucking taxes on it, bitch. Yeah, you heard it right, no fucking taxes. I got a little carried away there, because I'm not a big fan of taxes. Well, who is? Because you work day and night and the taxman comes and takes a huge chunk of your hard-earned money. But at the end of the day, no matter how bad we think it is, it's good for the economy. Taxes are essential, let's face it, folks. So let's get back to Bitcoins. I'll tell you why there are no taxes imposed on Bitcoins, because like all the other currencies, Bitcoin isn't controlled by any central authority or a government. And the next thing, guys, is mind-boggling. The current price of Bitcoin is approximately $2,600. Yes, you heard it right. One Bitcoin is worth thousands of dollars. If we convert it into Indian rupees, then it will be approximately 1,65,000 rupees, people. Damn! One Bitcoin will get you 165 grand in rupees. Holy shit. Is this even possible? I must be high right now. No, I'm not. It's true, people. It's true. Believe it or not, it's true. Yeah. But before we continue, be careful, guys. Bitcoin is very volatile in nature. So this is just a rough estimate of the current price of the Bitcoin. This extreme volatile nature of Bitcoin is solely because of the free market forces such as demand and supply, which makes Bitcoin a great investment for speculative traders. Approximately 16 million Bitcoins have been mined till date. Wait. What the hell is mining? How can we mine a digital currency? Before we get into mining, first let's understand the concept of the blockchain. This concept has a lot of technical jargon, so it can be a little hard to understand for some. So listen carefully, fellas. We human beings heavily rely on intermediaries, middlemen such as governments, networks, and banks to establish trust in the system of exchange of information and assets. So what are the jobs of these intermediaries? These middlemen authenticate the transactions between the involved parties or individuals, and also side by side keep each and every individual's sensitive information hidden from the others. Nobody likes the middlemen, they get to sniff our personal information and assets, and Mr. Satoshi felt the same. So he was like, "People of the earth, screw the middlemen. In exchange, I give you the blockchain." In the system of blockchain, no intermediaries or central authority exists, and each and every participants, or we can call them nodes, are connected to each other. Now, in contrast to our typical system of transaction where the personal information is hidden from the public, all information and transactions in a blockchain are publicly displayed, or we can say that everything is completely transparent. So basically, everybody gets to sniff each other's information. Yikes, it sounds gross. Seriously, it sounds gross. In our case, we are transacting Bitcoins. These transactions are displayed in a ledger in the form of a hash, which is created by a hash function, and are held by each and every node, basically a computer present in the blockchain. You must be thinking right now, what is this idiot blabbering about? What the hell is a ledger or a hash? It's pretty simple actually, fellas. A ledger is simply a record of transactions, and hash is a unique code which represents each and every transaction in this ledger. So every time a transaction between anyone in the blockchain occurs, this ledger, which is held by the participants, is updated. So basically what I'm saying here is that there's a common accounting record which is held by all participants. This record contains all the transactions of the blockchain. This makes it more secure in comparison with our conventional intermediaries, as everybody has the same piece of information, so hence it's very hard to tamper with the information. This means that if somebody thinks that he or she is a smarty pants and can get around the system by hacking it, they are fucking wrong. Because to alter the record, they need to change each and every transaction ever made in the ledger. And they need to be Mr. Hussein Bolt while doing so, as shitload of new transactions are being made and simultaneously the ledger is being updated. Now the question is, how is this ledger updated? Here mining comes into the picture. For example, when person A wants to spend or transfer his bitcoins to person B, he will publish a hash. Here miners come into play. These miners are simply other participants in the system who validate this transfer made by person A by checking the ledger that if person A's ownership of bitcoin is legitimate or not. This is the first aspect of mining. The second aspect is that these miners link the new transaction with the old one. So basically this new transaction is also in the form of a hash, but nobody in the system knows this hash. So what happens here is that these miners use trial and error method, or simply we can say that they guess this hash using intensive computation power in order to add it to the common ledger, and the transaction permanently becomes a part of this ledger. Now you would say, why would a miner go through all this trouble to maintain an account? He and every miner in the blockchain will go through all the trouble, as by validating and guessing this hash, they will be rewarded with a certain amount of bitcoins. But not all miners are rewarded with bitcoins. It's like a race. Whoever finds the answer first gets the reward first. It's life. That's how life works, people. Like you gotta be first or you fail. Nah, that's not entirely true. But this podcast is not related to philosophy, so we'll not get into that. So let's get back to our topic. This is how fresh bitcoins are injected into the system. This whole process is a cycle, meaning so far it's never ending in nature. This mining process controls the supply of bitcoins, making it fair and just. Come on, man, enough of this technical jibber jabber. Nah, your happiness is the last thing I want, so I'm gonna bore you further until you die. Hoo ha 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 ha. Okay, that was a forced evil laughter. Whatever, let's get back to bitcoins. So the next question is, how can the average Joe acquire this currency? But before answering that, let me tell you about the Bitcoin wallet. Where do you store bitcoins when you acquire them? And how do you access them to use them? Well, to make you understand how a wallet works, I'm going to compare it with the example of a bank account. So a bank account holds your money, just like a Bitcoin wallet holds your bitcoins. You access your bank account with a unique address, which is the bank account number, and it's known to everybody. Same goes with accessing your bitcoins. There's a public key, or we can call it a Bitcoin address to make it simple for you guys, which is unique and is known to everybody. This key is in the form of long random numbers and alphabet, just like a hash. Now you can access your bank account from a program or platform offered by the bank. Same is the case with Bitcoin address. In order to access it, you go to a program which is called the Bitcoin client. Once you open up the Bitcoin client, just like the bank account, you need a password or a private key. The private key is the same as the public key, but it's just that it's known to the owner. Well, that's common sense. That's why it's called private. With this private key, you access your Bitcoin address via the Bitcoin client. You transfer your Bitcoin just like you transfer money from one bank account to another. Now our question was, what is a Bitcoin wallet? And the answer to it is pretty simple. Any location with the Bitcoin address and the private key is held. The location can be any place where you keep these two things together. You write these two things down on a piece of paper, boom, it becomes your wallet. You store it in your computer, boom, it becomes your wallet. If you're a prodigy and decide to memorize these two ridiculously long numbers and alphabets, then big bang, boom, your brain becomes your wallet. I mean seriously bro, if you're able to pull it off, I can guarantee you that you can replace the Mike Ross of the television series Suits. Nowadays, these Bitcoin clients also act as Bitcoin wallets. I roughly mentioned the various types of wallets out there, but there are more types as well. I'm going to start with the least secure wallet type, which are the online wallets, where the keys are stored in a cloud, and we all know the condition of internet nowadays, how the hackers have grown exponentially, and this adversely affects the security of the keys in these wallets. Now, mobile and desktop wallets are relatively more secure than online wallets because the keys are not on a cloud but stored in the hardware of your devices. But again, a virus attack can affect the integrity of your personal information. Now, technology-wise, this one is quite advanced and secure. They are hardware wallets, as basically these wallets are just like an external storage device which store the public and the private key. They're just like pen drives. Now, I've already discussed about the paper wallet, and the most secure wallet is your brain. Your brain's only threat is the one and only Leo DiCaprio with a cool-ass steel briefcase from the movie Inception. Now the ground zero of acquiring bitcoins is the mining process, but mining isn't everybody's cup of tea as it's done with the help of really powerful computers and they are really expensive, like shit expensive. Now how do people like you and me buy and sell bitcoins? The answer is quite simple. We do the trade in a Bitcoin currency exchange. The name is pretty self-explanatory, but still I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. Bitcoin currency exchange is sorta like stock exchange, as it's a virtual network of buyers, sellers and middlemen, where buyers and sellers are you and me, and the middlemen are these Bitcoin exchanges itself. People in this exchange buy and sell bitcoins in exchange for other currencies such as US dollars, euros, pound sterlings, Russian rubles, etc. etc. Since 2009, Bitcoin has grown so popular that nowadays it is being used in various ways like buying physical goods such as electronics and other such day-to-day commodities. If you guys want to know exactly what you can buy from Bitcoin, then I'll suggest you go to this really awesome place called the internet and search for these things yourselves, you lazy asses. Pardon me, I'm just kidding, fellas. So, my faithful disciples, now you're ready to start your quest and venture into the land of the bitcoins in search of unfathomable fortune. You have been given the beginner level armor of wisdom and the sword of... wait a minute. The sword of... Oh crap, I forgot. Yeah, whatever. So basically use the sword and the armor to fight off the bitcoiny creatures, blah blah blah. I'm such an idiot. I can go on and on with this bullshit. Now run along, my little ones, and go seek your destiny. So yeah, that's about it, fellas. This podcast broadly covers most of the techie things about the Bitcoin. If you guys want to know more about the cool stuff of the universe and become a slick whiz in no time, stay tuned to my channel, cause you never know. I might reveal some methods or simply some jugars to earn some big bucks or simply some rokada. That's all, folks. This is your host J.S.Universe from Chandigarh, India, our planet Earth, the J.S.Universe. Signing out.